I recently got back from my third trip to Japan in 18 months, and in this video I'll show you images I captured in Japan in September 2024 with my Olympus Stylus Epic, also known as the Mewtwo, and the roll of film that I used was Kodak's Color Plus 200. So let's get straight into it. Right away we've got the contact sheet. Everything is looking wonderful in this contact sheet. Look at those bright, vibrant colors taken with Color Plus. Love this film. But overall, the images and the exposures are looking great. Shout out to the folks there at Halide Supply who give you these wonderful digital contact sheets with every roll of 35mm film you get developed with them. So let's start talking about some of my favorite images from this roll. Now, on this particular day, we took the train out to Kichijoji in the west of Tokyo, but we started off near Ueno Station, and there was this building here with this beautiful pink wall and this window and this doorway. I really liked this. And then we got the train, my son and I, we got the train out to Kichijoji, which was about, I think 30 or 40 minutes. We had to go around to Shinjuku and then get a faster train out from Shinjuku out to Kichijoji. Just south of the JR train station at Kichijoji, there's a wonderful place called Inokashira Pond. And on this pond here, look at this, you can see there's these beautiful swan boats, and you can rent the swan boats, rent rowboats, and have a wonderful time here on the lake in the sunshine. It's really wonderful. Now, if you think you've seen these swans before, you'd be right, because of course, these swans here at Inokashira Pond featured on the cover of my 35mm Japan film photography zine, which you can get, of course, on mattlovescameras.com, a hard copy. And you can also get a PDF. You can download one instantly with any subscription to my Substack, mattlovescameras.substack.com. So there you go. There's these beautiful boats here on the lake. I really like this. I really like the way the tree on the left is sort of reaching out into the lake, and you've got those swans dotted around the lake there. Really, really nice. The next one is just like one of those signs you see in the park telling you where to go everywhere. And as you can see, like it's really easy to get around Japan, because most places that, tourists go to, everything is in English as well as Japanese. So it's really easy to find your way around. Even if you didn't have Google Maps for some reason, you can just look at the sign and you'll know where you're going. And I really like the exposure of this image. I mean, the Mewtwo, the Stylus Epic is fantastic. I mean, everything just looks great here. The sign and the colors and the contrast, saturation, everything looks wonderful here. I love it. Another image here of all the swans lined up. Look, they're just waiting for us, those swans. They're waiting for us to get out there, pay our 800 yen and rent one. You rent one for about 20 minutes and you get a little ticket that's put into your boat so you know what time to take it back. Yeah, I really like it. However, it's very hard work. Like if you want a leg workout, definitely rent one of the swans. The next image is just by the boathouse where you rent the swans, and it's sort of between the boathouse and there's like a little zoo there. Haven't been in the zoo, but I sort of looked out and there's like a bit of a waterway and all these beautiful birds were chirping and stuff, and the light was just really nice here. As you can see, here's a tree trunk on the left and all that beautiful greenery there. It looks wonderful. Here's another close-up of the boats. Look at these blue boats. So there's the rowboats, traditional rowboats, there's the swan boats, and then there's these blue boats. My son and I have been here twice. We always rented the swan boat, because why would you not rent the swan boat? However, the swan boat is the most expensive at 800 yen, which is around, about $5 for 20 minutes. So yeah, it's a lot of fun here, and I really like this picture with all those rows of blue boats and also the bridge there in the background. Here are some people enjoying the wonderful swans here. So you've got the swans parked up on the right, and then people here are just probably bringing the swan back in when their time's up. It's actually a little bit treacherous trying to take images on this lake, because you kind of got your camera around your hand, and yeah, it felt kind of very like at any moment I could have dropped my camera or my GoPro into the lake, but still I managed to get out of it twice now, touch wood, without dropping anything in the lake. Again, here we've got another image here of these beautiful rowboats, and this is also an image I took 18 months previous to this, also featured in my 35mm Japan zine, but I just can't help taking pictures of these beautiful rowboats, all the colors and the shapes here. I love it. The next one is just an indication of when we were in Japan. We were there in September. I thought by September it might be getting a little bit cooler. I was wrong. It was hot and humid every day. Every hour or so we were like dying of thirst and we needed a drink. So I just love this. These are a line of drink machines. And here at Inokashira Pond and Park, there was like a line of drink machines. Every single brand of drink company in Japan was represented, one in a row. So I thought this was pretty cool. And you can see like the harsh sun here and the nice drinks there. And I can't remember what we got to drink now, but it was very refreshing, I'm sure. The next few images were taken on our way back to the train station. Just outside a shop here, you had this like nice little display here of plants and other stuff, so I took a photo of that. The next one, there was this beautiful light just when we were about to get back to the station. And of course the highlights are not quite blown out, but they are very bright. And it's just a little bit hard here because the dynamic range of the scene was pretty vast. I think the Mewtwo has done a pretty good job here. And again, standing on the platform, heading back to central Tokyo. This is at Kichijoji Station. Really like this one as well, with those sort of like the sun illuminating the train tracks there. Really, really nice. And the last one from this trip, we pulled up at a station on the way back to Tokyo. And I just had this image here of the train station with the red seats and the nice light outside. And so I took that one and it's turned out really nice. So yeah, well done to the Olympus Stylus Epic for taking these photos. Now I shot the last few frames of this roller film at Kamakura, just to the south of Tokyo, when we moved down there for 4 nights. So the first one here, I went out one morning to see the Great Buddha of Kamakura. My son had not been well, and so by the time we got to Kamakura, he was actually okay. He'd sort of recovered from a mild bout of food poisoning. He threw up 3 times in 24 hours, was not particularly fun. By the time we got to Kamakura, he was okay, but I left him in the hotel every morning and I went out adventuring. He likes to sleep in, he's 14, he's a teenager. I like to get out in the morning light, and take photos. So I just left him in the hotel to sleep in, and I would go out on little adventures, walking around, taking photos, getting coffee, and I'd bring breakfast back to the hotel for him. You know, my wife back in Australia, she wasn't overly impressed. She said, you know what, if there's a fire or if there's an earthquake, but you know, it was okay. We all survived and we're all home back in Australia. So back to the photo here. Here is the Great Buddha of Kamakura. Now you can sort of see this image. You might think, oh, it's a little bit hazy. What's going on here? It's because the air-conditioned hotel was quite cool. It was probably about, I don't know, 22, 23 degrees in the hotel room. Outside, even early morning, it's like over 30 degrees. And so obviously the temperature difference between the hotel room and taking the photos here at the Great Buddha, it's probably like I walked down there, it was probably like half an hour walk down there, but even by the time I got my camera out of the bag, you can see here there's the camera lens misted up, and so it looks like a bit of a soft focus filter thrown over the top of the image here. Look, it's it's an interesting look. I wouldn't, you know, volunteer to take photos like this all the time, but this is just what I ended up with because I hadn't realized how fogged up the lens was. The next one here was taken at a neighboring Buddhist temple called the Hasadera Temple, I think it was. Really, really nice place, beautiful gardens. And I just love this very typical Japanese scene, you know, this very typical black and white sort of Japanese architecture with the lanterns there. And this beautiful bamboo, the green bamboo. I think it looks wonderful. The next one was taken at Hasadera as well, and you've got these nice goldfish here, or sorry, koi carp rather, in the pond here. I really like that. And there's a yellow one and an orange one, very cool. The second last image was taken at another Buddhist temple. My friend Bill too said to me, you need to go to this temple where they serve green matcha tea with a bamboo forest. So we went to this other temple. My son actually came with me to this one. And yeah, you line up for ages, for about 20 minutes, and then you get a bowl of matcha green tea. And you sit out there and you look at these beautiful bamboo. The only thing annoying was some people were taking a long time to eat, you know, to drink their matcha, and they were taking like 20 minutes watching the view when they could have just, you know, drank their matcha and buggered off. But no, we had to wait and wait, and finally you get your moment of serenity looking at the bamboo, drinking matcha. And to finish off the roll one morning, this is on a different morning, I was just out and about and I saw this group of people here, you know, going through all the markets here, looking at the fresh produce outside a Tokyu-han store. I think this is wonderful. I really love this one. And you'll see on the left-hand side here, there's a machine that says iJuice. And then we never actually used this. There's a couple of these ones in Kamakura. We never actually got to use them. I wished I had have. But you basically, you know, there's fresh oranges in this machine, and any time of day or night, you rock up, put some coins in, and you'll get some nice freshly squeezed orange juice. How cool is that? Now, of course, me shooting Kodak Color Plus in the Olympus Stylus Epic is part of the Frugal Film Project. So for this year, I was supposed to shoot a roll of Kodak Color Plus in my Olympus Stylus Epic, 1 roll a month, every month of the year. But you know what? Come to September, I've kind of had enough. So this will be the last video I'm going to do about the Frugal Film Project. My Frugal Film has ended at the end of September. I was going to shoot another 3 rolls, obviously for October, November, December, but I feel kind of out of inspiration. I'm not going anywhere exciting or anything like that. And I feel like I'll just be shooting 3 rolls of Kodak Color Plus in the Olympus Stylus Epic just to finish off a project. Of course, Color Plus here in Australia now is going around, you know, 13, 14 US dollars a roll. And then you've got a similar amount of money for develop and scan, and you've got to post your films to the lab. And so it just feels like, you know, I'm in the Frugal Film Project. I feel like it would be anything but frugal if I just shot 3 rolls of film through the camera for the sake of saying I completed a project. So you know what? I'm drawing a line in the sand. September is the end of the Frugal film project for me this year. 9 months completed. I'm going to forget about the other 3 months. I do have some little highlights though from my August roll because I haven't done a video of them. August was a big month for me. I turned 50 and I went to the Royal Queensland exhibition, the Ekka, with my son, which is like a big fair. And here are some of the highlights from the August roll. So you've got the famous Ekka strawberry sundae. I love these so much. I think I had 2 or maybe I had 3, I'm not sure. But they're wonderful, beautiful cream and strawberries and lovely beautiful ice cream there, and you've got the show ring behind you there with all the cattle parading around, which is wonderful. Here is one of the grandstands here. It's been here since like, I think the 1920s, so it's about 100 years old now. One of the grandstands, they're doing some work too because it's getting a bit old and they're trying to make sure it's going to stand there for a bit longer. The next image here says Enchanted Circus. This is just one of the rides that you can go on, or one of the attractions you can go and walk around the sort of upstairs and downstairs of this Enchanted Circus. We didn't go in there. I just love the colors of this one. Here we've got some cattle being led into the main arena there. Really love this. All these people from the country come down to Brisbane with their cattle, and so they're getting all the cattle into the show ring so they can show them off and hopefully win a prize. I really love that one. And you can see on the ground there's a lot of the calling cards of the cattle are on the floor there. Next one is one of the roller coasters we went on. My son made me go on a couple of rides, even though I'm scared of heights and get vertigo. But sometimes you got to do these things just to please your kids, right? Here we've got a close-up of some cows. I was taking that as he was munching his food. Here we've got a goose in one of the pavilions where you can see all the birds. I really like that one. Put my flash on for that one. And the goose is, freeze frame there. Really nice. And the final one is my very handsome son. And yeah, we had a great time at the exhibition. We've had a great time on Boys Adventures this year. So yeah, really nice image there to wrap up my August shots. So there you go, that is a wrap for the Frugal Film Project for 2024 for me. 9 months completed, managed to take images in Bali, Indonesia, Flores, Indonesia, in China, in Japan, and a few here at home around Brisbane. But that's enough for me because shooting the rest of those rolls of film just for the sake of shooting them to say I've done the project seems anything but frugal. What did you think of the photos? I would love to know. Please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. See you next time, bye-bye.